one of the things actually I wish we could have spent more time talking about was the off-ramps, because the way I interpreted their book was most of the time the off-ramps were these ideas where when you're in a conversation where you're feeling uncomfortable or you're starting to feel that anxiety about a particular topic that you don't know how to talk about, rise, how do you sort of find your way out of the conversation? I think one of the things I took from
what's the definition of off-ramp?
It was basically, again, you're in a conversation and you need to take a pause from the conversation or a step away because you're not quite sure what to say. And there's a delicate way to do that so you're not shutting it down. There's also a delicate way to do it so you're not coming across in ways that are either rude or you're disagreeing or you might actually agree or vice versa. But there's also functional ways to get out of conversations.
And in the book, what I loved about it, he gave examples of off-ramps.
What I was looking for was more verbal off-ramps, like to actually more verbalize it. And that's what I would have wanted to see.
And there were a few charts. Yeah. Here are examples of off-ramps.
Examples, but like it would be easier, like, hey, we're having a disagreement. And I say, Eric, I need to take some time to verbalize. I think it actually helps if you can say, hey, this is a really important topic. I'm glad we're talking about this. I need some time to think about it. So I would like us to take a pause on this conversation and come back. Or I would like to step away for a few minutes to think about it. Like, and be able to verbalize that with clarity, I think is
and I think what you said was perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing I would add from a coaching perspective is I would say what you just said to me, hey Josh, do you mind if I take a few minutes or even a day or two to just process what you just told? Because I'm not even sure what I believe. And if I were to just accept that hook, line, and sinker, I might be going against my conscience. Do you mind?
Yeah, right.
And unless you're a complete jerk, you're like, hey, I want you to think about it.
Yeah. No, and I think that's where you can authentically approach these topics of where you might have some disagreements, but you're not quite sure how to articulate them. You also, I think, struggle to not come across as, at least I struggle to not come across as agreeing with something I don't necessarily agree with, because I have fundamental beliefs that might be contrary to it, but I have a hard time articulating it in the moment. So anyhow, the off-ramps is a big thing I picked up on from the book that I think is a useful tool for leaders to think about in those hard conversations. Well, and again, they highlight kind of diversity, justice, identity issues, but I think these apply to lots of life conversations.